ladies and gentlemen, I am here right now to say we are pursuing excellence under the subtitle that we need to build systems and not just goals. This conference has been amazing, and even myself as a guest, I have gone and received so much. Bishop Mazibuko, when he opened up, he was like, take the limits off. Take the limits off. Underline yourself. You must take the limits of yourself. And also, Pastor Masima spoke about moving from where you are to the promised land, that there's an in-between. Don't get lost in between. So now I want us to talk practically. As nami ngehlisa umoya ngathi lomoya okuvangela magwaza uyangena angena umvangeli. I'm generally a teacher, I'm generally a speaker, I'm like normally like addressing like lecture style, but ngiyayizwa le evangelical spirit to say we are pursuing excellence. And I'm here to tell you ukuthi Pastor Masimo also said all creation waits in eager anticipation for the sons of God to be revealed. He said that we've got a destiny. All of us have hopes and dreams. We've been hearing good things. Even now we're hearing about mental health. We've been hearing about doing right things, having money and not being had by money. There are good things that we want to do. We are excited. We want to dominate. And I'm here to disappoint you and tell you that hope is not a strategy. You have things in your heart that you want to do, but hope is not a strategy. But kanjani madlogo vishenge ngoba we are a people of hope. We are a people of promise. Yes, hope is the fuel. Now faith is the hope of so faith is the certainty of things hoped for. As we hope, hope is our fuel, but it's not a strategy. I declare increase over your life. I declare that you are the head and not the tail, which is in the Bible. I declare that you are above and not beneath. I declare that tomorrow you are being promoted. I receive. But as you receive, what are you doing? Hope is not a strategy. And as we look at it, why does this matter? This matters because you have a vision. And you have a reality, which is your promised land. Pastor Massimo said there's an in-between. What happens in between so that you do not die like the Israelites, so that you do not die like Moses in the in-between? In the in-between, there is execution. There is excellence. We are talking about what we want to achieve for our country, how we want our country to grow, how we want every mountain to work. Skathele amarobot angasebenzi, skathele education system ephukile, skathele ungabi nemsebenzi, sikhathele ipolitiki wrong, sikhathele media wrong. But in that in between, there is execution, and hope is not a. So, a bit about myself. Besishile umfundisi kamalami nguThembelihle abanye bayathuka. Igama Thembelihle waka ngema ngikanele kaButhelezi. I'm an entrepreneur. I work in corporate, also well learned to say that every mountain we do it with excellence. He's already spoken about my events business. I do sound, stage, lighting. We do amazing things. And this business, I actually started it here in church. Umazubu can testify. DVD, CD. This was the seed that was planted. Just to also share a personal testimony in some kumbulu NJ soil. I don't remember how high but I remember in one revival lapha eSkhawini eCrossini nganika lu 50 rand ukusay imali kumina ngalezo insuku. And I actually prayed a prayer to say I didn't call it an events business, but when the Holy Spirit reminds me now, it was a prayer of wanting an events business because I want this thing. And I sowed a seed, and now I am reminded years later, like Caleb was reminding Joshua to say 40 years later I am entering the promise. So this is my company that I'm running. So lately, I've just started a startup, a tech startup. So think of it as Uber Eats for events. So niyazi bazalwane ngoba niyathanda ama concerts nango xolo bevali ICC ababe khona nje babonisa ukudla bakhonanga ukuthenga neziphuzo cause online bebe bade. So what we're doing is senza i-app Uber Eats mawi event uhleli unethezekile, you order your food and then it comes to you or uhambe uyokulanda. Why okay, please guys, VenuApp, vulana my cell phone, please show us some love on the DMs, on the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'd love your support. But why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this to show you ukuthi I'm in the trenches of execution. This is not just a speech, it's not just talking. This is something that I do every day. This idea, I was approached by my co-founder in February, who I was doing business with in the events. And it was just like, yes, Thembi, I've got this idea, but you are good at execution. Come partner with me on this. I'm sharing this for you to know that it is possible. We are in the trenches of execution. Main message is excellence opens doors. The wisest man on earth, Uti, you see a man skilled in his work. He will serve before kings. He will not serve before mere men. If you are going to expand in your mountain of influence, you must be excellent. If you work in government, let us work and be excellent in what we do. We have examples of excellence in the Bible of Joseph. Joseph interpreted a dream ga Pharaoh, and then Pharaoh says, this guy has solutions. I will promote you right here, right now, and you'll be second to me. Daniel is another example of excellence in the Bible, where he served the Persian king, and the people around him were jealous because of the spirit of excellence and execution that Daniel had. So as believers in our different mountains of education, arts, media, politics, sihlulwa yini bazalwane to be excellent? We need to pursue excellence. As Pastor during devotion was saying, when we pursue, we come from behind. We are chasing. We chase excellence. But ngabe ngiyona bazalwane, nginganichazeli nje ukuthi if you are going to be excellent, ziyabuya ka excellence. Then you're going to face opposition. We face it in corporate for doing the right thing. So, not even the wrong thing. For doing the right thing. We face it in church for doing the right thing. As you aim to be excellent in everything you do, people will come after you for doing the right thing. So I'm trying to say, build resilience semanje. To say kulula ukuba mediocre, it's easier to stay where you are. But if you're going to push in between the vision and the promise, in the in-between, there'll be opposition. And it is up to you whether you will push through the opposition or not. So I just want to be practical, Bazarwane, and just talk about the 3 phases of giving up. What are the 3 phases of giving up? Because njengamanje si energized, bakhulumile bishop, bakhulumile magwaza, bakhulumile Musima, bakhulumile bazalwane. Everybody has been talking a powerful word. We're inspired. And the first phase is kumnandi, I'm excited. I am there. I'm going to conquer my mountain. I don't know what have you purposed in your heart to do? Have you purposed this to go educate yourself, go expand yourself, go expand your capacity. We are sure you're register manje. Oh, you're manje. You're excited. This week, kumnandi. Next week, ziyabuya busy. Yo, ngiyakwiprayer, ngiyesikoleni, ngiyakloku. Yeah, seziningi izinto. There are many distractions now that are eating that seed. If it's Kumbulu Jesu when he was talking about the sower and the seed who was scattering. So there are many things now that are keeping you busy and are draining that excitement. And then the third stage is I'm uninspired. Should I really do this? Is it worth it? Yazini, angwazi ukuyenza lento. I'm not perfect. Anginaplani. So, bazalwane, these are essential stages. And thina futhi sinelaki because we experience this every week. Iyavuthi intshumayelo. Uzukuthi ngiyaphenduka. And then the things of life eat away at it. So another thing I want to warn Bazalwane is trying to do too much at the same time. You need to decide what you're going to focus on and just deal with that focus so that you know that you protect your excitement, you protect yourself from distractions, and you push through the boredom. The people who succeed are those who keep doing the same thing over and over again, who are consistent in the hardships, consistent in the failures, because that's when you will see results and push through. I love this quote by James Clear. He's the writer of the best-selling book, Atomic Habits. He says that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So a lot of us have goals. We're like, I want to grow the church. I want to grow the youth ministry. I want to grow the worship team. I want to grow my business. I want to grow my studies. But hope is not a strategy. If you don't have systems in place, then the excitement will fade and your dream will come to nothing. How do we build systems? There's a couple of questions of Meluz Buzeon. What will I do? Blend. Let's take gym. I'll gym. Where will you do it? Ngizoyenza Virgin Active. Oh no, ngizoyenza Garage Lam. What time will you do it? Uzoyenza ekuseni, uzoyenza emini, uzoyenza ntambama. How will you measure success? Okay, mangishaya treadmill for 10 minutes or manglifte ama reps I 50. That's my success measure. And how will you hold yourself accountable? Uhamba nomngani wakho or we are reporter egroupini unayo nabangani. How do you make it practical? Because if you're not accountable to anyone, it's very hard being accountable to yourself. I'm busy. So these are some of the practical ways that we can build systems. So one of the most beautiful places I've been to is Dubai. Yo, it's such a beautiful city. Everything just works. Beautiful airports, beautiful buildings. And what I love about them is more than just the beauty of the buildings. Is I love their story. Like their picture is 1970, where Dubai Ukwadule. Abantu ba decide ukuthi sizohlala oGwadule and sizowaka a city that the whole world will come to. So the past three rulers decided this is what we'll build. We'll start building a port because they were an oil economy, and they decided and were intentional that they were going to diversify from oil and start doing other things and attract the world so that they build a global city. And this is what I take from the current ruler now, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. And he says he's the grandson of the guy who pushed the momentum of building. He says that the future belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, and execute it. It's not something you await, but something you rather create. The future belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, execute it. It is not something you await, but rather create. And I take these words because they are words that are spoken by someone who's created something. That building you see there is mesmerizing in real life. As every time I passed through, I was like, wow, designed by a South African guy, built in Dubai. It is called the Museum of the Future. And they have technologies inside there where they are imagining what the future is like. But what do we see? We see that they've executed on the future. So now I'm here to ask you, what does success look like to you? And this one, for some of us, success looks like having a private plane, flying around the world, being a global speaker. But for some of us in the house, success is having my farm where I'm growing organic food and I'm teaching other people to grow organic food. Success for some people, it's leaving full-time employment or corporate high-paying employment and going to work in the education system, in the social system. Success is different for each and every one of you. So don't let people intimidate you with their definition of success. See God and your definition. But it's very important. What does success look like to you? And just to share a story about myself, Jay Bazarane, if you know me personally, ngumuntu ophansi nje, ngizithandela ukusebenza, ngizithandela imali, ngizithandela ukuhamba. But 1 year, 2021, I wanted to be a board member. It's just a career growth of mine. So there was an opportunity. Ngaqala ngakhankasa. Yo, it was COVID. Nisayikhumbula COVID kwakunzima kanjani. You didn't speak to anyone. Sasingahlangani. Everything was online or on WhatsApp. And I started campaigning, right? Lafika usuku lemphumela. A lot of us were campaigning. Impumela sesilindile kwathiwa kwang angiwinanga ke bazalwane yayinjalo imphumela kwaba khona ukudumala. But ngahlala phansi ngacabanga la and ngayibona nami self ngikhankasa ukuthi iCovid, I've worked for 3 banks, anginayi numbers abantu. I should have at least 200 numbers in my database. Numbers zami is not make sure. I googled myself, Thembi ngema. Buthelezi. Thembelihle. You. Come on, bazalwane ukuthi no. For the strategy where I want to go, this is my personal testimony. Ukuthi I want to be in boards. Ramaphosa nje next time maybe G20 ebiza ama eminent individuals. Nami ngifuna uba eminent. Why ungazi eminent? But ungazelaphi? Siqale lapho nje, ungazelaphi. Nami ngiyabona ukuthi is not make sure. So in my reflections I saw ukuthi this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. And then ngaqala ke nami ngapaquza ke bazalwane, ngapaquza ngiyena umuntu o social media, lento ya social media sebenzisana lento sasikhathi lento ya social media inzima. But ngabona ukuthi no, it's either I do it or I don't. Who knows me? I need to build a brand. I need to build a name for myself. Ngaqala nge-website. Ngonguglisha ke manje akufani ku-official website iyavuka. Social media, I'm out there. And I'm sharing this to tell you, I don't like it, but I need to pick a struggle. Do I want to get to where I'm going or I don't? And just to say, uNkulunkulu can do anything. He can use anything and anything, but in anything he uses something. Naku David eyosha uGoliath wayiphethe itshenyana na uyabona le strategy sakhe naye is not make sure, but he had a strategy. It wasn't just hope to stand in front of a giant and do nothing. He threw the stone. What stone are you throwing towards your goal? And am I sure is it gonna work? I don't know, but I am trying something because hope is not a strategy, and I'm seeing some doors that it's opening for me. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying what's everybody go on social media. I'm just saying, what's your strategy? What are the stones you are picking up for where you need to move from where you are now to your promised land? So I want us to know that you have the ability to create. You can create the future. And it doesn't matter where you start. Yes, you may have started disadvantaged on a wrong footing, but God can use anything. But you now need to decide what will come out of you. You may have come to a situation that's not ideal, but what will come from you? So I just want us to recap some 5 things that will help us create the life that we want instead of settling for the life that we already have. First one is we need to define success. I've spoken at length as to how do you define your own success. Secondly, build systems. System. Ngoba bese ngibikile bazalwane nami yanxaka lento ye social media. What do? I have a scheduler. Ngihlala phansi one day. Ngishaya ama post ayi7. Ubona what how every day. No, ngihlalile ngomgqibelo ngashaya wonke weviki. Like with video, I know I can do video myself. I struggle with time. So I pay a guy ozayo ezongishuta and then he edits for me and then we schedule. So what I'm trying to say here, I'm just using practical examples. Guti, what is your system? Because song is abazalwane. So you need to decide what system you are going to put in place to reach your goal. So the third one is guardrails for accountability. Balekile bazalwane sinale generation engafuni ukukhuzwa. Le ekhuzwayo iyabaleka. Ngiyakhumbula thina babazibuko sasikhuzela ngisho into engekho kodwa sisekhona asifanga. So accountability, so which links to my 4th point of seek feedback. You must have people abazonginika feedback right abathi oh no Thembi ushayile la oy iyabona lana mhlambe awuthukulungisa, and don't always seek abantu abazokutshela izinto ofuna ukuzizwa, because laba bathule nento ezokukhulisa, because abantu abaningi, they think some things but they don't tell you. So have people who will give you feedback, good feedback and critical feedback. And then lastly, finish what you start. If you're going to start something, finish it. If you feel the spirit of giving up, tell yourself it's okay, kunzima namhlanje, maybe angenze namhlanje and give up tomorrow. Ubone ukuthi kusasa uzovuka unani. Trick yourself, have strategies, but finish what you start. A lot of us are victim to this. A lot of people I see trying to do businesses, bathi chogo, and then they don't finish what they start. Abanye baqala ama degree, baqala ifundo, chogo, especially with online studies. Snabo chogo. Online studies. But bazalwane, we need to finish what we start. This resonates with me as I land this plane to say, the future belongs to those who will imagine it, design it, and execute it. It is not something you await, but rather create. How are you imagining your future? As you leave this conference, what vision do you have for yourself? And as you leave, I want to leave you with this question, Eti, what are you doing to get there? Ngiyabonga.